When it comes to the Kardashian family, there's little doubt that they are one of the most fame-desiring, egotistical, and self-centered people on the planet. You can start from Kris Jenner, the matriarch of the family, go right into her first children via Kim, Khloe, and Kourtney, and then her next children via Kendall and Kylie, and all the evidence is there for you to see. But now, a leak of a music video from Kanye West shows rather graphically the truth about Kylie's rise to fame, and it's not pretty at all. We'll break it down for you, but first, do me a favor, leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, let's get started. Number 7, the Kanye video. Warning, this is gonna be, well, very Kanye, and something that is almost too weird to mention, let alone show. So we're just gonna describe it and then never mention it again. Okay? A leaked Kanye West music video for the song Feel Me has depicted a disturbing scene between Kylie and older sister Kim Kardashian West. The 2017 video, which also features rapper Tyga, ends with Kylie emerging from Kim's giant-sized crotch. Yes, you heard me right, and it definitely is something that apparently happened, but you can see why it didn't get released, right? Now, according to the music director for the video, the message underneath the madness is very plain. Mainly, there is no Kylie in her current form without Kim, which at first seems a bit odd given that Kylie was born quite a while after Kim, and yet if you really dive into the message both then and now, and especially with how Kylie and Kim have evolved, you can see that as disturbing as this was, it's pretty accurate. Number 6. The rise of the Kardashians. If you look at the year 2021, you're gonna see an ending of sorts for the Kardashian family as a whole in terms of one part of their fame, mainly in that their longtime show Keeping Up with the Kardashians is finally ending over on E! Network. However, if you rewind to 2 decades previously, the Kardashians weren't even close to the fame they have now. The only reason they were famous in even the smallest way was because of the parents in regards to Robert Kardashian and Kris, who were married for a long time. The two were linked to the O.J. Simpson trial in various ways because they knew both O.J. and his wife, who was killed in the now infamous incident. Robert stood by his friend until literally the end of the trial, where he realized the truth and refused to associate with him. Kris eventually got a bit more fame because of her divorcing Robert and marrying Olympic athlete Bruce Jenner, who would have become Caitlyn Jenner, and even they were very much on the D-list. However, Robert and Kris's daughter, in Kim, was obsessed with fame, and the little bit of fame her parents had led to her meeting people in Hollywood like Paris Hilton, who hired Kim to be a fashion consultant. Despite what you might think, Kim was good at this job and she met a lot of famous people because of this, which led to her meeting Ray J and having another infamous moment via their tape that got the Kardashians a lot of fame. So much so that they went from D-list stars to the family that everyone was talking about via their antics, which led to them getting their reality show by 2007, and Kris Jenner was not going to let that go to waste. Number 5. Mother Dearest. Confused why we're not talking about Kylie yet? Don't worry, we're getting there. But there's one last step along the way to Kylie. You see, once Kris and Kim and the others realized they had fame, they were going to make sure it didn't disappear if their show didn't take off. Because while it would be a hit, they didn't know how much of an impact it would have at the time of its release. So Kris went and did everything she could to get her 3 main daughters at the time, Kim, Khloe, and Kourtney, on products around the world. They were endorsing foods, beauty products, a credit card that was so shady and fishy it had to be revoked, and so on and so forth. Kris made sure you couldn't go into a store without seeing something that had their name on it. And guess what? It actually worked. Kris's string pulling led to her daughters, and her by extension, becoming the biggest family in Hollywood. At one point, Kris acknowledged that at a Super Bowl in New Orleans, they had more security than any A-list star there because they were that popular. They had to do everything to try and get famous, and it worked. So when a certain other daughter came along, they had a different deck to play with. Number 4, the rise of Kylie. If you really want to look at the differences between Kim and Kylie, you need only look at the circumstances of them growing up. Kim grew up in wealth to an extent, sure, but for Kylie, she basically grew up on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So much so that people fell in love with her, and Kendall because they had the youthful energy, and people were infinitely curious to see what they would turn into in regards to both women and business people. And her mother Kris, who now had all the resources and means to build up Kylie in a way that she honestly couldn't with her other daughters. Not an insult in this case, but just a matter of circumstances. Kim especially had been tainted by this point via her short-lived marriage to Kris Humphries, her erratic marriage with Kanye West, and of course, her over-the-top persona on the show. But with Kylie, people saw a young, sweet girl that they wanted to support. Thus, Kylie got the various treatments by Kris and others to try and make her the most successful of the family, and sadly, it worked. She started doing things like making shirts, doing makeup, and so on, and people were buying into it. She was so popular that she even had her own short-lived spin-off series, Life of Kylie. None of the other Kardashian members got their own spin-off, not even Kim. So Kris's plan was working because of how she, Kim, and the others had built up their fame. But the cherry on top, if you will, was when a certain title was put on Kylie. Number 3, the self-made billionaire. So you might recall that a little bit ago, Forbes went and did a list on the people who had made their fortunes on their own and cleaned up huge as a result. Everyone was shocked though when they found out that Kylie Jenner was on that list. The reason this was shocking was that the definition of self-made is to be starting with nothing and make something of you and your business. But Kylie had not only money via her family, but her family name, which was being shown every week, if not every day, on television. Kylie refuted this logic by saying that her parents cut her off at age 15 and that she made her successful Kylie Cosmetics on her own and was getting huge numbers in terms of sales because of her hard work and dedication. Inspiring, if it was real. Number 2, the truth. After some digging though, Forbes realized that they had made a huge mistake and that Kylie was lying to them and others about her wealth, all because of how Kris had raised her and Kris's help in guiding things along. The publication called out the Kardashian family for fighting to receive higher spots on their annual wealth and celebrity earnings list, calling them obsessed with their net worths. They even went as far as to reveal that the family would invite them to their homes and their CPA's offices to prove their wealth. They even gave them copies of their tax returns that were likely forged. Forbes has also reported that Kylie Cosmetics isn't nearly as profitable as they've led us to believe. Not only did they lie about how much the company earned within the first 18 months, but Kylie lied about her parents not being financially involved in her business. When she sold part of her business to Cody, the purchase agreements list KMJ 2018 Irrevocable Trust, controlled by Kristen M. Jenner, as owning a profit interest in Kylie Cosmetics. Now, because of the house of lies she built, she's still worth about $900 million because of the deal she made for her company. But that $900 million is proof of how far this family is willing to go in order to get what they want. Lying, scamming, and making themselves feel bigger than they are. Number 1, from Kris to Kim to Kylie. This all brings us back to the music video that Kanye did, because as we alluded to earlier, the message of that graphic image is that without Kim, there is no Kylie. And that's absolutely true, because if you go and look at the career path of Kim Kardashian, you'll see basically all the same beats that Kylie has taken in one form or another. You'll find someone obsessed with fame, fortune, and flattery. You'll see someone who isn't afraid to augment themselves to go and be perceived as perfect or the embodiment of beauty. You'll see that they're not afraid to dump someone and then seek out someone who has more fame and can bring them more prestige. And of course, they're not afraid to lie, cheat, and even steal to get what they feel they deserve. And as you might have guessed, these traits can all be traced back to their mother, Kris Jenner. But with that being said, there you have it everyone, a look at the various elements of the Kanye West video and how Kylie is very much someone who was bred to be famous and what that says about her life, her personality, and of course, her family. Do you think that Kanye went too far with this video? Do you think that he was just trying to be honest for once and trying to expose the truth? Go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel.